OpenAI is working on its own social network similar to X. According to sources from The Verge, there is reportedly an internal prototype focused on image generation for ChatGPT, which also includes a social feed. It's unclear whether OpenAI plans to launch the social network as a standalone app or integrate it into ChatGPT. Several creative names have been floating on Reddit. What do you think the name should be for this new social network? Apple and Meta have been fined for violating the European Union's Digital Markets Act, which aims to increase competition in digital markets by designating major companies like Apple, Meta, X, and Google as gatekeepers. The European Commission fined Apple 500 million euros after ruling that its anti-steering practices in the App Store violated DMA antitrust rules. Meta received a 200 million euro fine over similar allegations. Apple's response: quote, "We have spent hundreds of thousands of engineering hours and made dozens of changes to comply with this law, none of which our users have asked for. Despite countless meetings, the Commission continues to move the goalposts every step of the way. We will appeal and continue engaging with the Commission in service of our European customers." End quote. Meta, meanwhile, is fighting legal battles on two fronts, one over monopoly allegations in the US and another with the DMA in the European Union. The DMA accused Meta of forcing Facebook and Instagram users to either pay a subscription fee to remove ads or consent to data collection for ad-supported versions. Meta said in a compliance report published on March 6th that it has, quote, continued to receive additional demands that go beyond what is written in the law, quote, despite its efforts to comply with DMA requirements. The DMA can impose fines of up to 10% of a company's global annual revenue for violations and up to 20% for repeat offenses. Both companies have 60 days to comply. Apple has confirmed it will appeal, and Meta plans to do the same. This month has seen a massive shift in the prices of all goods worldwide, and technology is no exception. Nintendo Switch fans feared that the console's cost would rise due to tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump. However, Nintendo announced that the console would remain priced at $499 in the US and will be released on June 5th. However, there are changes to console accessories due to changes in market conditions. The price increases include the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, which was originally going to cost $79.99, now costing $84.99. The Joy-Cons will go from $89.99 to $94.99, and the camera will go from $49.99 to $54.99. On Reddit, people expressed their concern about the price differences by country, with Scandinavian countries experiencing the largest price hikes up to, wait for it, $650 in Finland. This is because Nintendo doesn't distribute directly to Scandinavian countries. Its games remain at $79.99 for the popular Mario Kart World and $69.99 for the Donkey Kong Bonanza, which looks pretty funny. Nintendo apologizes, saying, "We apologize for the retail pre-order delay and hope this reduces some of the uncertainty our customers may be experiencing." NVIDIA has announced the RTX 5060 set to launch in May. Market reaction remains to be seen, as few people in 2025 seem interested in buying an 8GB VRAM card at its listed price. Despite being equipped with DLSS4, multi-frame gen, and AI scaling, the RTX 5060 is still just an expensive 8GB card. Moreover, NVIDIA's MSRP is far from reality, especially in Mexico or Latin America. Distributors rarely adhere to these suggested prices, making them seem more like a marketing tactic than an actual retail guideline. If you're upgrading from an older generation like the RTX 4060 or RTX 3060, we recommend opting for a 12GB or 16GB card instead. For example, the 16GB RTX 5060 Ti, which NVIDIA suggests should cost $429, or the RX 9060 XT, which according to leaks will also come in 16GB and 8GB variants at a lower price than NVIDIA's offerings. The 8GB RX 9060 XT is expected to cost between $269 and $299 $80 less than NVIDIA, while the 16GB version should range from $330 to $379 cheaper than both the RTX 5060 Ti and RTX 5060. This month has been quite tough for several tech companies in the U.S. The U.S. Department of Justice won its antitrust case against Google, which accused the company of operating a monopoly in the advertising technology industry, namely Google Ads. Back in August 2024, Google had been accused of monopolistic practices at that time for dominating online search, namely Google Chrome. The judge determined that the agreements give Google a major, largely unseen advantage over its rivals, and that most devices in the US come pre-installed with Google's search engine. Plaintiffs have proven that Google was willfully engaged in a series of anti-competitive acts to acquire and maintain monopoly power in the publisher, ad server, and ad exchange markets for open web display advertising, writes U.S. District Judge Leonie Brinkema. We won half of this case and we will appeal the other half, Lee Ann Mulholland, Google's vice president of regulatory affairs, said in a statement to The Verge. The court found that our advertiser tools and our acquisitions like DoubleClick do not harm competition. Publishers have many options and choose Google because our ad technology tools are simple, affordable, and effective. The court will likely force Google to divest its Google Chrome browser. Meanwhile, OpenAI and Perplexity have openly expressed their desire to buy Google Chrome. With this acquisition, OpenAI or Perplexity would have a huge advantage to further fuel their AI models. OpenAI remains a company that relies on private investment. OpenAI needs more products or services to become a profitable company and completely stop being dependent on private investment. TSMC, the massive Taiwanese chip maker, is joining forces with Intel just weeks after the appointment of Lin Tan as Intel's new CEO. TSMC manufactures chips for NVIDIA, AMD, and Snapdragon, dominating over 90% of this market. Reports suggest they will collaborate on semiconductor production. This doesn't mean TSMC will make all of Intel's chips, but rather that they've entered a joint venture where TSMC will train Intel employees on certain chip manufacturing practices. In return, TSMC will receive 20% of the profits from the deal. Do you think this is a smart move by TSMC to nearly monopolize semiconductor production, or is competition still necessary in this sector? You won't believe this because it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. A young Columbia University student creates an AI startup that lets you cheat on interviews and programming knowledge tests at the largest tech companies like Amazon, Google, TikTok, Meta, and more. The sneaky part comes when this tool can be hidden and only visible to you even if you share your screen during the call with the recruiter. And Roy Lee, a student who is very active on Twitter, or X, has shared several emails in which he was accepted to various companies and then these offers were rescinded. I'll leave you a link with his profile where you can read his entire story and find out about all these screenshots and posts. It will not come as a surprise that Roy Lee has already been expelled from his university, and his company, Cluely, has already raised $5.3 million today. You can currently download it for free for Mac OS, and there's a waiting list for Windows. The free version doesn't give you access to the latest model, and it doesn't show you the full response from the AI analysis. However, the Pro version costs only $20 per month or $100 per year. Their page comments, "The world will call it cheating, but so was the calculator, spell check, and Google. Every time technology makes us smarter, the world panics. Then it adapts, then it forgets, and suddenly it's normal." Or is it? We have reached the point where not only will you use AI in real time, but your boss will use it at the same time as you to reason, discuss, or plan company goals while you, with your own AI, respond based on the reasoning of another AI. I'm getting very confused. Where do you think this AI would be most helpful? Google isn't the only company on trial again this month. Meta is back on trial for monopoly allegations. Today, Instagram has approximately 2 billion monthly active users. When Facebook bought Instagram in 2012, it did so for $1 billion. And WhatsApp for $19 billion in 2014. Before the Instagram purchase, Facebook was developing a camera app. Zuckerberg said, "I thought Instagram was better at that, so I thought it was better to buy them." In 2018, Zuckerberg suggested separating Instagram from Facebook, saying, "Most companies actually perform better after they've been split up." Now, Meta is appealing in court to prevent this from happening. Furthermore, we don't believe the court will only order it to separate Instagram from Meta, but also from WhatsApp, with approximately another 2 billion monthly users. Whew. If you liked the video and you made it this far, please drop the phrase "aliens laugh at GPT." Okay, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Martha, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.